Over the last few months, I've done a lot of self-reflection, and as we've shown more and more of Lethal Fantasy, I found myself thinking about why we built this game in the first place. Like every game designer, it's easy to become consumed by mechanics. You spend years refining rules, balancing systems, changing things that don't work, and trying to solve problems you've experienced at the table. When people ask me what Lethal Fantasy is, I think I've been answering the wrong question. I spent a lot of time talking about mechanics, opposed roles, cinematic results, no initiative, dynamic combat, and those things are important, but they're not why we built this game. Recently, I realized something. I've become so focused on explaining the mechanics that I forgot to explain what those mechanics were actually created to do. When I first discovered tabletop role playing games, they gave me a feeling I've never forgotten. The excitement of not knowing what would happen next, the anticipation before every roll, the tension, the laughter, the victories, the defeats, and the stories that stayed with me long after the game was over. Those memories have lasted for decades. When we designed Lethal Fantasy, that was always the goal. The mechanics were never the destination. They were the tools we built to recreate those feelings, to keep every player engaged, to make every role matter, to create battles that are cinematic, dangerous, and unpredictable, to give groups more moments they're still talking about years later. The real question isn't how does Lethal Fantasy work? The real question is how do I want people to feel when they play it? I want every player at the table to feel involved. I want you leaning forward in your chair because you genuinely don't know what's about to happen next. I want victories that feel earned. I want defeats that become legendary stories you'll tell for years. You know, some of my favorite memories from role playing games aren't about winning, they're about that impossible shot, the desperate last stand, that critical failure that somehow became the funniest moment of the entire campaign. Those are the moments we remember. Those are the stories we tell. Every mechanic in Lethal Fantasy exists for one reason: to help create more of those moments. If a rule didn't make the game more exciting, if it didn't keep players engaged, if it didn't help create memorable stories, we question whether it belonged in the game at all. Lethal Fantasy isn't trying to replace the worlds you already love. Whether you play in our Terra, create your own setting, or adventure in another established fantasy world entirely, our hope is simple: to, to give you a system that creates unforgettable adventures and memories that last. At the end of the day, I don't want people talking about our mechanics. I want them talking about the incredible battle, the impossible escape, the heartbreaking sacrifice, or that unbelievable role that changed everything. Because years from now, people won't remember every rule they used. They'll remember how the game made them feel. And if Lethal Fantasy helps create those feelings, those stories, and those memories, then I've accomplished exactly what we set out to do. Thank you for watching. If this sounds like the kind of experience you've been looking for, we'd love to have you join us. Follow us here, join our Discord, and become part of our legendary journey. We'd love to have you. Thanks for your time.